Hi everybody, and welcome back to another Let's Play of the book Unwritten. And yeah, this is kind of different, the way I'm basically recording this. As you can see, both hands are free, so that means I'm recording it on my laptop. So yeah, it's better than that, so yeah, so I won't be moving around and stuff. So, yeah.
Believer, no idea what. Stop that! He kissed a picture of the princess. Probably better if I put the book in a safe place. This is the desk that Chantal, the daughter of the council leader, and little Timmy share. Hard to imagine two students being any more different. Chantal is only here because of its tradition in the family, and I don't think she really cares about magic or has any real talent for it. Timmy, though, well, he is eager to learn. He was so excited the last few days. It's for students like him that we have to get this school back up and running. I don't know who that boy was. He was a right pain in the ass. However, he seemed to understand a great deal about magic, and if I managed to teach him some manners, he could be an excellent student. Generations of students have left their mark, especially in the form of little pictures and sayings carved into wood. Here's a particularly long one. For all drifters and troublemakers, condemned to write the same sentence on the board over and over again, no problem. Cast the automation spell on the piece of chalk and it does it all the work for you. Bartholomew. Hey, aye, that's cheating. Pretty clever though. The spell carved into wood down there, I'll just write it down. Maybe I can lure him into a trap. Hey, look! That book! Ah! I have you now! Well, sort of. Locked up in a dark place with a book of fairy tales. Time to negotiate. Hello? Can you hear me? I got nothing against you, but you have to leave the school. It's too dangerous here for you, and you're interfering with the routine. I'm going to slowly open the desktop now, and you're going to come out peacefully. Right then. Ah! Ow! Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I should probably make the best of this. I'll just keep him in the pencil case where it's safe. Oh, I think he's woken up, and he's looking for trouble. When the school disappeared 20 years ago, obviously no one looked after the animals. Expected consequences, really. need the whole skeleton, but a sharp-pointed bone like this might just prove useful. That's a small bone from the fish in the glass jar. It's very sharp and has a kind of a hook. It didn't let me down this time though. It worked even better than I expected. It was like it wanted to conjure. I could hardly keep it under control. What's this? A gift? For Wilbur A. Wow! That's... what is it?
I'm a magic slate.
But what are you?
A talking slate?
I can speak, write, draw, calculate, sing, write poetry, and vibrate. And answer almost any question.
Wow!
Are you a gift from what?
You look like you're pretty expensive.
Thank you.
And you're a gift. You're mine now.
The gift wrap and greeting card seem to indicate that this is the case.
But who is A?
Insufficient parameters.
Maybe Alistair, the Archmage.
Mordred, Vivian, Leslie, Alistair, Archmage of Seastone.
He probably thought I might need some help. How nice of him. Vivian.
Can you be used to play free games?
Can you be used to play games which appear to be free at first glance, but in the long term empty your pocket and leave you destitute?
No. I am a tool and was not designed for unproductive activities, such as games.
Too bad.
I bet you'd be really useful.
I bet you're really useful.
Insufficient parameters.
So let me get this straight. I can write on you, and paint, and... do you know any spells?
No.
Can you give me any tips on how I can do my tasks?
Unless it's about recipes. Probably not.
I like you anyway. Okay, yeah, over and out. Teachers are traditionally paid in apples. I got this one myself, because I didn't want to spend my first day without an apple. I wanted to ask the Archmage whether good teachers can expect any other form of payment than apples, but when he showed me the beautiful contract with the seal and all that, it just didn't seem to be the right time to talk about gold. This book looks very old and important. Half the class had runny noses, most were recaptured. This is the roll book where the teacher writes down any unusual events. Plus 5 points for defeating a troll, minus 50 for leaving your dorm at night. Maybe young Harry is right, that seems a little unbalanced. Whoa, school must have been more competitive back then. The book is too thick to read without looking for anything in particular. Unusual. This device looks more like ordinary engineering than it does magic. Most magical devices have lots of golden parts, elaborate decorations and bells and whistles, just the way the mages like them. This one could easily come from a gnome workshop. What does it say? The apparatus that corrupted student Allardyce. A warning to those who do not want to accept the limits of magic. Ooh, crazy drawings and symbols. That must be really high magic. Only the wisest mages can understand all that. I suspect that some sort of strange magical creatures were kept in the cages. Students, for example. The mixing of potions is an important part of magic. It's a bit like cooking, except a stew doesn't kill you if you add the wrong ingredient. Or if it's stirred wrong. The last time a fire burned in this was before the school disappeared 20 years ago. And even if I could, I shouldn't start a fire in it anyway. The flue was broken, and the smoke would fill the entire classroom. I don't think the Archmage even has brochures like these. No posters or town criers or plays. Either he lacks the gold, or he doesn't want to conduct his election campaign in this manner. Oh, most of the plants have dried up. No one looked after them. Only this plant must have found a water source somewhere. Perhaps one of the windows has a leak. It gives you hope to know that something beautiful and peaceful has survived in this gloomy building. Ah! Ugh! I don't know exactly why the council leader left the brochures lying here. It was agreed that children can't vote. First they wanted to base eligibility to vote on size, which of course led to resistance among us gnomes and the dwarves. And then they said weight should be decisive. The more you weigh, the more weighty your vote, but then the trolls and ogres would have been overrepresented. In the end they agreed on a minimum age. However, there are still arguments because rats, undead children and other minorities can never vote. Introduction to magic, sheep breeding and care, statistics. That seems to be some kind of timetable. Master Marcus and the Archmage were so busy rebuilding the city that no one had the opportunity to teach me anything about teaching. This box was in a shop window down in the city. I thought it might be useful. After all, there are children with magic wands on it. But unfortunately, it just seems to be a bunch of those tricks, like that old one with Mr. Wuppleman, the top hat and the rabbit. Short white robe, pair of dice, playing cards, and a guide on how to lead people up the garden path. That's just not right. Real magic or none at all. It looked like this before I ever moved in. Generations of teachers must have left their stuff here. I like it. The school has a history and, when I have time, I'll rummage through it. A few of the crates and boxes are labelled. Hands off. Property of the half-blood prince. Schrödinger. That box could hold a dead cat. Or not. This has to be the oldest shoe I've ever seen. It's so old it's even lost its ability to stink. That's strange. There's paper in the bottom of the shoe. Oh, maybe the shoe has a hole and the paper is across it. It's a sheet from a book. It's folded in the middle and printed on both sides. That is 4 pages. It wasn't torn out. It looks more like the glue leaking than the sheet fell. Why work when you can do magic? The automation spell. A beautiful golden-eared trumpet. One of my predecessor must have laid it up there. A very tall predecessor. The entire school building is a bit scary. No one knows exactly where it was the last 20 years. It disappeared overnight and then reappeared just as suddenly once the war ended. There's a lot of magic in these old walls. The stove is always on, for example, and even though I've never put any wood in it. The way he looks at the moment, he could give Bertram the world's fattest hamster a run for his money. But he'll get back to normal. A short nap and he'll be right as rain. A magical stove is a fine thing in winter, but in the summer, this small room could quickly become sweltering. Ow! That stone is definitely more than just warm. These are the aviator goggles that my granddad gave me before my first trip to Seastone. Well, a pair of aviator goggles. The original pair was lost when Grandad fired me up to the cannon. That's when I found out Grandad has a whole box of these goggles. Every time he tries to persuade some idiot to do something stupid, he makes a rousing speech and then hands over his old aviator goggles. If I was as big as a troll, I could maybe reach it. I don't think I'd hit him. I'm not a very good shot with a magic wand. I don't think I'd hit him. What's this? Another book page. Or more precisely, another folded sheet of paper upon which 4 pages have been printed. When I look at the page numbers on the first sheet and on this sheet, it seems there are at least 5 sheets missing. When there are 2 pages to be found, there are sure to be even more. Based on the page numbers, I would say that there must be at least 5 more sheets. A lever? No idea.
Darn it. Still Alright, there's a way.
Sorry!
There's a way to do this. You technically need to wait for him to get outside. Close the window.
the moment, I have no question. Why work? I wonder if we... If I put a coin into the gap in the door on the same side as the hinges, the door won't open anymore. Done, and the caretaker never twigged. When you I don't know. Whoa, the new caretaker troll. Hello. Hello. I'm Wilbur Weathervane, Professor Wilbur Weathervane.
Yeah.
I teach, so I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. If you were to talk to me, we could work together to accomplish much more for the school. Come on, I demand that you talk to me.
Great. Someone else to make demands around here.
What are you doing?
What does it look like?
It looks like you're not doing a lot.
It looks like you're not doing much.
You want to tell me how to do my job?
What is your job?
Go on, if you don't. Yeah, that's your one.
Have you been caretaker for long?
You've been a caretaker for long? What exactly are your duties?
I run the place.
Oh,
Nothing here works without me. Just no one notices, that's all.
I see. But don't the teachers and the school administration, etc., have a small share in the success of the school, right?
What success? You had a look round this dump. It's disgusting. All dirty and run down.
But isn't your job to keep things clean around here?
Yes, it's quite dirty here, in fact. But isn't it your job to do something about it?
What do you think I'm doing?
Could take a while until you're done cleaning up the mess, right?
If you say so, Mr. Know-it-all.
The council leader hired you, right?
I bet Council Leader Van Buren got you the job here.
Of course, she wanted the best.
Oh, great. I think she'd be perfectly happy if no progress was ever made here at the school.
Know what your problem is? You're a windbag. Bert thinks so too.
Who's Bert?
Buddy of mine, he thinks you're a windbag too.
But I don't even know Bert. Even we just met.
So you're saying I'm lying? That's exactly what Bert, me and the others hate about you.
There is no Bert.
You really live in your own little world, you windbag.
Looks like we two have to get the school back.
Headmaster Block has ordered you and I to clean the hall and free it of cobwebs.
Already on it?
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be progressing.
Oh, you can of course do it better.
Not that, only maybe you could use some help. Do you have any other cleaning supplies? A broom, dustpan?
Sure, got it all. But I ain't giving you none. Get your own.
What's your problem? I'm offering you help and saving you a lot of work.
Oh, boo-hoo, cry me a river.
If we work together, we could both be done sooner.
Look, you were told to clean the engine hall, I was told to clean the engine hall. If we work together, it would be faster for both of us. Don't you get it?
Sure, Professor Brain should know. The rest of us are idiots.
I never said that, but it is a fact.
Don't know about anything, but what's the big man here, huh?
It is quite obvious that.
No one else is allowed an opinion. We had that here before, you know. Rotten fascist.
I don't want to fight with you.
Your parents are siblings. Yeah, all three of them.
Come on, seriously. I could really use your help. Please.
Can't cope with your life, huh? And now you want me to fix it for you, just like always.
You've never helped me. We don't even know each other.
Our fine gentleman considers himself something better now, and suddenly doesn't know us anymore.
I'm slowly beginning to believe you actually find it funny to wind me up.
Everyone hates me because I'm so cool.
I'm sure they don't.
You're not cool.
You say to me, people say that I'm arrogant. How should they know? Oh, give them time of day. And you know what beats everything?
What?
No?
A hammer! Idiot.
There's a coin stuck in the
I think there's a coin stuck in the door. Can't open it anymore.
Did you stick a coin in there?
No?
I hate it when the doors get blocked.
A huge key ring. It must be the keys to the school. No, that won't work. Key ring is tied to his belt. He'd probably notice if I was to stand behind him and fumble with his belt. I'd love to... if I was as big as a troll.
Bloody student.
How can I ever get the hall cleaned up? And by, 72 o'clock? Wow, this isn't dust and dirt. It's like the funk of 40,000 years. It's rock hard. As if thousands of feet have trampled it into the floor. Even though no one's been here for 20 years. Or at least as far as I know.
Well, yeah. You gotta basically find a way to get this balloon. What do you call it? These cub lod out of this hole. Something to do with the window. I can't remember how to do it exactly. It's something. I don't know if it's timed or what.
Can I use it to make him work faster? Probably. But I don't think I should do it. Using magic to compel living creatures to do something against their will? Ugh. I didn't become a mage to do things like that. A fairy spell summoned the bubbles, but doesn't say how to send them back. And why did kobolds appear when I summoned fairies? I don't think I... Nothing. Probably hit a hole. That kobold seems pretty adventurous. He was the first to slip out of the classroom and now he's just buzzing around. No idea how to reach him up there. Well, it's not just that he's very far away, he just never stops flying around. Maybe the tapestry shows who the knights served. I don't know much about these things, unfortunately. We didn't have knights in the White Ridge Mountains. Probably they sank in the snow. Oh, how pretty! A swan folded from a piece of paper. This is origami, an ancient elf art form. The dwarven word for this art form means something like pointy ears build dust catchers out of paper because they can't deal with stone. Hey, this isn't just some sheet of paper, it's... Sorry, Swan. It is! Another book page. I'll take it with me. Still missing a few pages, but if I'm lucky, I'll find them all, I can save a book. A nice pair of bellows. You really get a fire going. When my family wanted to forge something at home, I was in charge of the bellows. You are the most important gnome in this matter, they often used to say to me. Bellows. I won't go into details now, but when one pulls the handles apart, they fill with air. Pressing the handles together forces the air out at the tip. Took me a while to figure that out, but I've got the hang of it now. A neat pile of firewood. More than enough to make a decent fire. This must be the best clock in the world. Most only have 2 or 3 hands. This one has at least 10. I don't really know what the clock wants to tell me, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't just show the time. There's so much to discover. I wish I could stay here forever. A display case documenting the achievements of pupils of the school. Some sports trophies, pictures of slain dragons, pupils in front of smouldering pots. Pride of place seems to go to a trophy won at a broom ball tournament. It's really cold in here. I'm going to light a small fire, okay?
Do you intend to burn school property?
No, there's some firewood right here.
Yes, and it belongs to the school.
Oh, sure.
I hope that is not school property that you intend to burn there, Professor Weathervane.
No.
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 Well,
Is it school property or not? I hope that is...
they're just a few old boards.
From the school here?
Yes, but you should have thrown them away.
You should have thrown them away, but you didn't do so.
I thought to myself, why throw away the boards and waste expensive firewood? Why unnecessarily burden school finances?
Good thinking, Professor Weathervane. Carry on.
Wowzers! Even outside the classroom this job is more complicated than I first thought. Albert! He seems to be an excellent student. There are many entries about improper interjections and questions. What's this? Axel A. Aronson. Axel cannot pay his school fees as he gives all his money to dodgy game developers. Beaverus Deepwood. Beaverus tried to turn wood into gold. In the end, he got mahogany, which in turn he sold for a lot of gold. Brian Blackstone. Brian became the youngest student ever to successfully cast the teleportation spell. He teleported himself 20 feet into the air and successfully fell to his death. Bernison. Troll. Bernison of High Wind Lake managed to collapse the south wing of the school by sneezing. Daniel A. Kershaw. Daniel conjured himself a magical forest and has not been seen since. D. Zaster. D died in a devastating explosion near a fireplace. His last essay on the development of my fart spell will be passed on to his surviving family. Elmar Frog. Elmar's father, the royal executioner, asked for permission to see his son's school records. Elmar is doing fine. Truly. Really fine lad. Looks as if a few pages were ripped out here. Fluffy Foffofoff. Fluffy transformed pure gold into a tasty piece of bread, so refuting the old saying that you cannot eat gold. Hiker Granger. Despite repeated warnings, which hiker is still using the school's palantir to make long-distance calls? Frederica Sillybottom. Frederica Sillybottom has applied to the City Council for a change of name. She shall henceforth be known as Frederica Sillybottom. Ingemar Thunderflash. Despite repeated demands, Ingemar refuses to tell us his real last name. No one is called Thunderflash. Yoda Green No. Magic strong in this one is, but weak his grammar be. Lennart the Akagamic. Lennart the Akagamic, genius of the buttons, mage of the keys, has broken more brains than hearts. Most recently his own brain. which earned him a private suite in the Arkenstein Asylum. Levin from the hills. Gifted fire and water mage. Unfortunately, his talents cancel each other out, so is regarded as one of the most incompetent mages in his class. Marcel Makes-a-Lot. Marcel summons large hairy mammals and refuses to stop doing so. Marco Marco intentionally uses words like and because he believes it would be too embarrassing to write them down here. Mario Mushroom. Mario jumps on other people's heads, lights them on fire, and then calls the whole thing non-violent. Mark of the Southlands. Lord Mark of the Southlands yesterday set fire to several teachers and flooded the gym. Again. Movie Van Grove. Movie Van Grove transformed the school sheep into an ape, although the librarian expressly forbids apes in the school. Armadillo. Armadillo was expelled. It turned out that he was an armadillo in a penguin suit with a sign that said "Moo." Okay, now that's just weird. Haba the Great. Haba the Great, the only student of this academy whose width exceeds his height, today received his degree. He will be missed. Percy Smith. Percy detonated a stink bomb during running training. The students never ran faster. Student Smith received an award. Percy Smith. Percy detonated a stink bomb during running training. The students never ran faster. Student Smith received an award. Percy Smith. Percy detonated a stink bomb during running training. The students never ran faster. Student Smith received an award. Peter, Troll. The Hunters Guild has asked us to find a new caretaker. It seems the grumpy troll snoring and farting is scaring off the wildlife for miles around. René Beetle. René claims to have been in a sky full of diamonds with a certain Lucy. Visits from females are strictly prohibited in this school. So are mushrooms. Russell the Undead. Russell the Undead Mage is constantly losing skin. There have been numerous complaints from the cleaning staff. Sasha Shalasplatshu. This entry was only added to make life difficult for anyone who has to read it out loud. Sorry. Hey, it's not very nice. Serena Dirkmanson. Serena discovered a completely new kind of magic. A second, completely unrelated incident then destroyed the entire laboratory. Speedster. Document not found. Did you mean speedster or speedstar? Theragor Biraton. Theragor lost today's archery contest after he fired his arrow in the wrong direction. We sent his family flowers. Toby Corner. Toby Corner. Wise remarks, deficient. Wise cracks, good. Is he working for the school? Or himself? Or is he only interested in gaining the council leader an advantage in the election? Excuse me, Headmaster Brock.
Yes?
About...
Yeah?
If I have to clean the hall, is there anything I can use to do it with?
The caretaker troll was supplied accordingly. Ask him.
He doesn't want to give me anything.
You are a professor. He is a janitor. Assert yourself.
The cobwebs in the hall are a long way up.
And?
You may not have noticed,
I'm
but
a
I'm a rather average sized gnome.
That is no excuse. Get to work.
Can't one or two of the kobolds just stay here in the school? After all, they are magical creatures, and students could examine them and take them for walks.
Rioting kobolds in my school? I'll have none of it. They have to go.
Ah, shame that. I haven't had any luck finding the library yet.
I hope you're not relying on luck in your endeavors. What is your strategy for looking for the room?
I search? I met the caretaker, Troll.
I know what you want to say. I'm not enthusiastic about it myself. Trolls are sullen, slow, and rude. But what can I do? They have a stranglehold on the janitorial market. We must live with it. Still, we were able to negotiate a good contract.
What do you mean?
Paragraph 1, Section 1. The troll is not allowed to speak with any school employee or student unless explicitly requested.
Why do so many of the notes I suggest have a small hole?
Why do so many of the notes on your desk have a small hole in the middle?
That's airmail. You spike the message on the beak of a homing pigeon. Not an optimal method. First, one obviously has a hole in the paper, and secondly, the pigeons are constantly flying into cliffs.
I think there's a simpler solution.
And that would be...
You could simply write the letters directly onto the pigeons themselves. As long as the pigeons are white and the ink black, the text should be clearly visible.
Not a bad idea at all. But it would make the archiving more difficult.
Records seem to be very important to you.
Order is very important. Records are a tool to that end.
I have a loose leaf binder for spells.
Commendable. Maybe you can do something with this then. There is no room for a spell in my files. Archive it, Mr. Weathervane.
Gladly. So,
Beep.
a spell. Someone has written a note in the margin. Headmaster Pinkerton, this spell is currently circulating throughout the school. It opens tabs, knots, loops, and the like. By now, there is hardly a student or teacher in this school who still has their pants around their waists and not their ankles. We need to stop this immediately. It seems magic isn't always limited to serious things. A fire maker is an amazing piece of engineering. You fill it with flammable gas, which is then ignited using complicated technology. I don't think that will work. The spell opens loops, straps, hooks and eyes, things like that. But I can try. As I suspected. It says Fireplace Travel Network Map. It shows a lot of fat black dots connected by lines. Above each of the dots is a name. Seastone, Mage Tower, Entrance Hall, Coaching Inn, Fox's Den, and many more. 3 animal symbols are located beneath each of the dots. I've heard about this. Wizards use a powder to travel through the fire in one fireplace to the fire in another. Of course, this doesn't just work with any fireplace.
Alexa,
It must be on the
dismiss.
Fireplace Travel Network. And this plan shows which fireplaces are connected to which. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. So.
Be my...
Is he what? Is he what?
Oh, I can't remember how to get rid of this. What I mean, little thing. The thing that keeps flying around. It's bugging me. Irritating me.
It seems pretty. He was the. Nothing. The moment Oh, hello. Headmaster Block has ordered you to give me some of the cleaning supplies.
Right.
So, you're doing it?
Cool.
Then, give...
I'm sure.
You're making fun of me, right?
No.
No matter what I do, you're not going to give me anything to use to tidy up, right?
Course
The door's stuck again. I don't think I'd hit him. I'm not a very good
Bloody students.
I mean, that's how you basically thingy. Because to get the key off him, you're supposed to put the coin in the door. And he's supposed to thingy. I think it's after sorting something. Right. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to search it up again.